Hurricane Beryl it's not done yet, and it's expected to make landfall as a Category 4 hurricane in Jamaica in the next hours. Right now it's positioned 16.2 degrees north, 72.3 degrees west, and as you can see it's deteriorating the presentation, but still having a Category 4 winds, and it's a really strong hurricane, and possibly trying to beat the record of Hurricane Gilbert of 1988 as the strongest hurricane ever to make landfall in the island of Jamaica. As you remember, Hurricane Gilbert made landfall in Jamaica as a Category 3 with winds of 125 miles per hour back in 1988. That was 36 years ago, and Beryl wants to do more history than already has done so far. Sustained winds of 150 miles per hour right now with a pressure of 948 millibars, moving to the west-northwest at 22 miles per hour. This is latest at 22 hours local time in Jamaica, 3 hours in the Universal Central Time, July the 2nd in Jamaica time zone right now, but July the 3rd in the UTC time. And here comes the big deal, because we are predicting that Beryl will maintain some kind of strength despite the wind shear levels and fighting as well the dry air as we've seen on these later hours. I will make landfall as a Category 4 in Jamaica, unfortunately beating the record of Gilbert, not losing so much strength and maintaining the Category 3 strength, excuse me, and then possibly making landfall as a low-end Category 3 in the Yucatan Peninsula, possibly south of the Cozumel Island, and then rapidly weakening as a Category 1 hurricane, re-emerging the Gulf of Mexico when it's expected that it will maintain some strength, and then intensifying gradually, aiming the border of Tamaulipas and Texas in Mexico, United States in the next 5 days. Right now there's a hurricane warning in effect for Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. Also there's a tropical storm warning in effect for Punta Palenque in Dominican Republic to Anse de Nou in Haiti, and of course a hurricane watch in effect for Haiti, south coast of Anse de Nou, and as well a hurricane watch in effect for Chetumal to Cabo Catoche in Mexico. So this is the forecast, and this is the projection we are having for Beryl right now. We are not convinced that Beryl will make landfall that week as many models are predicting, since practically Beryl has been fooling us all day long and practically all its lifespan so far. So we've been so conservative. We've been so conservative right now. So we are going to, we are thinking that maybe Beryl will still beating up all the wind shear levels and the adverse conditions that has been dealing with, since this system hasn't weakened a lot since it was a Category 5 last day, and as we expected. So possibly and unfortunately it will stay that way at least until it makes landfall in the Yucatan Peninsula. And this is one of the key factors of why Beryl has maintained some strength, since the wind shear has been decreasing a little bit and substantially enough to maintain the Category 4 intensity despite those adverse conditions, as the wind shear levels have been disappearing, and also the dry air, despite being there, it's not affecting Beryl that much as we expected. But of course the eye temperature has decreased a lot. Still it maintained Category 4 strength, and the structure itself, it's really there, maintaining minus 75 to minus 80 cloud tops around the circulation. So it's really an impressive system how this hurricane has been dealing with those adverse conditions and beating up all those factors that made all the forecasts being completely wrong, of course, unfortunately. And the sea surface temperatures 29 Celsius, 28 to 29 Celsius, completely favorable to maintain strength and to keep strong as has been doing so far. and this is a general view of the Atlantic Ocean and what is ahead of Beryl. As you can see, more sea surface temperatures, completely warm and favorable for further intensification. And of course, remember guys, when Nathan has been doing the tropical weather bulletins, the heat content in the Caribbean Sea is quite high, so of course Beryl is taking advantage of that accumulation of energy, and well, this is the result. A really record-breaking hurricane so far, and unfortunately it's going to make more damage in Jamaica, in the Yucatan Peninsula as well, and then we don't know what is going to happen after that, if it's going to make landfall in Mexico for the second time, or maybe moving more to the north and making landfall in Texas. It's something that we are not sure yet, so it's really important to take a very close view and keep updated with more updates that we are going to do with this hurricane. But so far this is the projection, and this model, the icon, is predicting that this hurricane is going to be more to the north than we are actually predicting. So this is why it's important to keep note on what it's going to do this hurricane, because still there's a debate of what it's going to do Beryl in the next days after it makes landfall in Yucatan Peninsula. We don't know. It's a really concerning situation because it's going to get stronger as the model is predicting there, and could reach again category 3 status. We don't know. It's something, it's a possibility. The Gulf of Mexico is really warm and conditions usually are favorable for really rapid intensification hurricanes. So oh my god, I don't know. It's something. It's really a challenging storm to predict so far. And this is a multimodal diagnostics, max wind speeds 120 knots, 125 knots, in general 130 knots, which is 150 miles per hour so far. General weakening is expected, but as you can see, the models are predicting that it's going to maintain some strength after it makes landfall in Jamaica, possibly category 2 strength. But we're going to risk more with that forecast, and we predict that it's going to make landfall as a category 3 in the Yucatan Peninsula, category 4 landfall unfortunately for Jamaica. The wind shear moderate, but as you saw in the previous graphic, has been decreasing and battling with less wind shear than expected, and this is one of the key factors of why Beryl has maintained some strength and didn't weaken as that much as we expected initially. The sea surface temperatures 28-29 Celsius in general, so good for the hurricane to maintain the strength. The humidity, it's not that high, it's quite low to be honest, but still Beryl, it's fighting that wind shear and that dry air, and oh boy, this is going to be a really concerning situation for Jamaica unfortunately. And of course the people in the Yucatan Peninsula have to begin the preparations, because it's expected that it will make landfall on Friday, and they will not have enough time if they do not prepare as soon as possible, starting by today or early tomorrow. And this is the current satellite presentation. Actually it looks healthy despite all the wind shear and the dry air. Of course the eye, it's like disappearing on the visible imagery and it's getting cloud covered, but as you can see on the infrared imagery, the cloud tops are getting higher, so -75 to -80 again, wrapping that eye, despite that the eye is also getting really cold. After was 20 degrees Celsius yesterday, today is like -50 degrees. It's a really cold eye, but despite that the cloud tops are there, the structure is there as well, the convection it's healthy. So it's a really strange but absolutely incredible hurricane to track and to forecast as well. So please keep updated with more here in Force 13. We are going to be live in the early hours on the local time in Jamaica, possibly sooner, since we are expecting a second landfall and directly over Jamaica. So please stay tuned with that, because we are going to cover that storm with many more updates, more content here in our YouTube channel and in social media as well. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.
become an Ultimate fan today.